My name is Peter, and this is Coordinate Challenge, where you decide my next destination in the Norwegian wilderness. I'll be going off trail and will have to rely on my own navigational skills in order to overcome natural obstacles and reach my target. On the way to these coordinates, I'll be filming myself to document my adventures. In this episode, I'll be going to a coordinate on a forested hill located in the vicinity of an impressive natural formation, a cliff. This time I'll be using snowshoes while navigating terrain on my way towards the target. I will park my car near the bottom of a slope that turns into the aforementioned cliff further to the west. I will then have to ascend this slope and get to the target by walking parallel to this natural formation. My biggest challenges this time will be navigating safely so I don't end up tumbling off the cliff and getting used to hiking with snowshoes. My backpack contains the same equipment as previous episodes, but instead of bringing my skis, I'll be bringing my snowshoes. I'm at the starting point, and now I have to make my way up that slope while wearing these. Wish me luck. Alright, I made it up a part that's less steep now, but from here on out it'll definitely get a lot steeper. So it's a good thing that my snowshoes have got this function which makes it easier for my legs by just flipping up one of these small frames on which my heel rests. So, time to make it up the real deal. I'm finally up the slope now, and the ride is cabin, so I'm going to give myself a nice break to enjoy the view. Cheers! Alright, I've made it up this slope here now, and I'm over here, while the target's over there. And I've just found out that the coordinates are not in my GPS watch, so there's no way for me to actually pinpoint that I'm there. So for now the best option for me is to follow this ridge here and to go north here to reach my target, and hope everything works out well. Hiking alongside this cliff, this amazing view, but I've got to watch out that I don't get too close to the edge and I'll fall down, because there have been huge temperature differences the last few weeks, so maybe some rocks or wood will have cracked, which will make for very unstable conditions. And it also seems that spring has come a bit early up here, so there's not that much snow for me with my snowshoes, so I'll have to find some more snowy soil, or else I'll have to take off my snowshoes and just carry them. First objective completed. Found some more snow, so now I can snowshoe my way up west towards the target. Alright, I'm about halfway now, but because the sun's come out, it's just gotten a lot warmer, so I've broken out in a bit of a sweat. I have to go in that direction, but yeah, it's going to be warm from here on out, even though there's loads of snow. But yeah, it's a nice sight to see the sun reflecting off the snow. Could have had worse. got to watch out now. This flat area over here is bog. You can already see some puddles. So these snowshoes will probably prevent me from falling in the puddle. But I can't estimate how big they are. So it's better to be cautious here and not get wet feet. More bog. So I've got to watch out now. I've got a bit of an echo here. Interesting. Yeah, I'm over here right now. So that means I'm gonna go up to the target from here. What a view I've got here. I've arrived at the target, and there seems to be an echo here as well. But sadly, there isn't that much of a view due to all the trees. So now I'm just going to take a nice little break and have a drink before I continue on the way back. Alright, to get back to the starting point, I've got two options now. Either do it Hans and Gretel style and follow the indents that my snowshoes have left on the snow, or completely pick a different path and make it a proper round trip. And in the spirit of adventure, I've chosen to do the latter. Nearly back at the ridge now. Now look at these. They're proper moose tracks. So maybe I'll even run into one. I'm back at the ridge now just before sunset, and I'm being treated to a beautiful sunset over the Docker Delta. This is amazing. It's a completely frozen waterfall here. Alright, I'm back at a small shelter. So that means I've only got to go down the slope. But first I'm going to take a small break. Alright, it's time to get down now. I've got to watch out because it's gotten a lot darker and the snow is getting less and less, so I might have to find a different way down. Got down the first stretch without falling twice, so now it's time to make it down the latter half and get back. Well, made it down the other slope without falling twice as well, so that puts me in a grand total of 2, but no harm, so that's the most important. Alright, back at the starting point again, safe and sound. What I learned during this trip is that it wasn't a clever idea to follow the length of the ridge, because at some points, just a few meters before my feet, the ground will fall away. And then I'd have to look for a higher ground, so I ended up zigzagging instead of going straight. I've also learned that if it's sunny, it can get really warm and you can really start to sweat. But as soon as the sun goes away, then that sweat might freeze as well, because then you really feel how cold it actually is, because it was -10 today but it didn't feel like it. Another thing which is equipment based is that I thought that if I put on my snowshoes I didn't have to look after them on the trip, but I've had to fasten the bindings quite a few times, and I got out of the bindings quite a few times as well. So that could just be with these snowshoes, but that's something I have to be mindful of as well, because if I'm near a ridge and I lose one of my snowshoes, it might end up sliding all the way down the ridge and then I've lost a snowshoe. So that's what I've learned this time. Now it's time for me to get some rest and prepare for the next time.
All that remains for me to say now is I'll be looking forward to your coordinate suggestions in the comments below and to subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Twitter, where I'll be posting sneak peek pictures of the adventures you'll be sending me on. Any tips or good advice is also more than welcome.